So have you
Mr.
seen?
Frank, Samsung, you want me to see you? What's
Are
happening?
you
You know?
are you
What's
sure?
up?
Are you sure? Are you sure it's a phone or a Samsung remote
No,
control that you are using?
Mr.
Because
Frank, it's too early
ah.
now. Mr. Frank, not Twitter. This is not Twitter. This is not Twitter. Don't come and give me Twitter banter here now. Mr. Frank, do not give me Twitter
Because
banter.
I'm wondering why the Sam is not sunny.
I
It's
was
not.
like, everyone is seeing Mr. Frank. I'm
That's
not
what I'm
seeing
saying.
Mr. Frank.
That's
All
what I'm
right,
saying. Hey,
guys. This
hi
is
everybody. Hi everybody.
all right, Mr. Frank. Welcome to Catching Up with the Stars.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank you very very
for
much.
making our time. I understand the Lagos traffic and everything,
My brother,
but it's not your fault.
I want to apologize, but Lagos people here, they know that Lagos Lagos traffic is monumental. Lagos traffic is the kind of traffic that
Right?
you will just be seeing cars. You'll be moving inch. It's kilometers, but you'll be moving inch by inch. That's the problem. Yeah. On Saturdays, everybody goes crazy on Saturdays. But I'm here
But
now. I'm happy to be here.
literally, I was thinking on Saturdays, a lot of people do not go out. So
No, 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 no. You
the
are
whole
wrong.
lot to be
A lot of people go, they don't go to work,
mm,
but they go out. So we
mm,
have weddings,
go and dance
occasions.
and rest, right?
Then everybody has the same notion that nobody goes out. So they go out and everybody's outside. That's what happens. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
So how, yeah.
Welcome, Mr. Frank.
Thank you
Um,
very much.
we've much anticipated you and whatnot. All right, Mr. Frank, let's dive into the interview proper.
Okay.
Uh, Growing up as a child, my parents had always said, dreams come true. And I was a big fan of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I watched you. I remember times where we didn't have lights. I'd had serious. I've had countless of times where my parents whipped me because I had gone to some other people's house to watch you.
Well, I was,
That was how passionate I was for that show at the time. And I
oh,
said to myself, someday, sometime, I'm going to meet you. And meeting you in Las Vegas was a dream come true. Meeting you right now
yeah,
is a
yeah.
dream come true.
Las Vegas.
And today,
I like what happened in Las Vegas. I mean, you guys. I mean, Mafiz, Agod was very, very good to me, and everybody at Sierra, they received me. The reception was great. You guys even honored me. Those guys interviewing, and I was very elated that even in diaspora where we miss home, that some people could come together and make the place feel welcoming for you. So I was very glad.
nice, nice. So I feel like today the reverse is the case for me because I'm putting you on the hot seat.
There's no hot seat without money.
So it's gonna be 50-50. Phone a friend, or you ask the audience, the audience on the comment section.
Don't worry. If I feel any difficulty, I'll just walk away.
Okay,
You know.
you plead. Are you trying to say you're gonna plead the fifth?
No, I'm not. I'm not pleading the fifth. I'm not pleading the fifth. I'll just walk away if I get outside.
All right.
All right.
Mr. Frank, if you are not Frank Edoho, what would be your alter ego?
Oh wow.
Hmm.
I'll be a grumpy old man, sitting
Grumpy old man?
grumpy because I'm very grumpy. I'm grumpy. I'm a grumpy person because I sit down and I criticize everything, but I don't do it in public. So they say criticize in private and praise in public.
Mm.
So there are many things that happen in this world. So I think my wife is just the reception. She's the one that receives all of that because I'll say, why is this
Falling.
happening? Why are they doing this? Why this? Can you imagine? I'll vent. Then outside, when they ask me, I'm like, I don't know. Because they hold you to whatever you say. You see, the funny thing about the Nigerian society is that what they do is they hold you accountable for your opinion. Opinion is different from character. So if you say, oh, I hate this government, they are going to think, oh, you are just a person that hates. Hatred he's full of hatred. That's the misconception Nigerian have. So if my alter ego would be a grumpy old man, sitting under a tree and and farming. I studied animal science actually,
I,
so I would be a
I was
farmer.
gonna come to that much
Yeah,
later.
yeah. Yes. So yeah, I like that question. That
Oh,
question has never
really?
been asked me. That's a very good question. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
I
I love
appreciate
that.
that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Have you perused through your social media page?
Mm.
I saw where you talked about transition, the transition from broadcasting, photography, and into event decoration and whatnot. I stand corrected.
Okay.
For you, what is passion for you?
Right now, broadcasting has always been my passion, really. Broadcasting has been my passion. That's why, and I think I have the passion in enormous amounts. That's why I've been able to be steadfast in broadcasting, even if they weren't paying me. I started broadcasting in 1991 in school, University of Calabar, and I stayed there for long with all the strikes and everything. Throughout that, I was doing broadcasting. So, and I never got paid a dime. So when I left school in 1998, I did my service in 1999. I went to Lagos and I joined DBN Television. So when I joined DBN Television, I was there for a year. For a year. So, but my salary was less than 10,000 naira then. And I joined Radio Nigeria in 2000. My salary was 17,940, if I remember, for 4 years. You understand? All the way till 2004 when I left, did the audition of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and luckily I got it. My passion is broadcasting, but some people have the misconception that if you have one passion, that's enough. You have to look. There are some people that are given many passions, but they don't know it yet because they'll be like, "Oh, I like this, I like this, I like this." If you like something, you go in and learn it, especially in this digital age where you can learn anything on the internet. By the way, I learned photography on the internet. I learned it all by myself. So as I was going, I realized that all broadcasters have multiple income revenue streams. So I decided to delve into my other passions. So my wife is an interior designer, and when she started the business, I was helping her as every good husband would. But I realized that her pictures were just. I would look at her pictures and say, "Hey, these pictures are not as professional as the pictures of your international counterparts. So why is it so?" So I researched and I found out that interior photography is a thing. You have to learn it. You have to go into study it. So, and then I didn't know photography. So I started by learning photography and cinematography. Then photography specific to architecture and interior design. So I went into that. And I did it for like 4 5 years. No, 4 years. I did it for 4 years. And during the 4 years, I was just steadily taking, just learning until I cracked it. Then I started, doing work for. Well, unfortunately, I do work for only my wife. Interior design, photography,
Also,
but but I could delve into hotels, restaurants, and all that. I could take, like I did one for Albergo Hotel. Then I did one for one hotel that we lodged in Switzerland. You know, I have a lot of pictures, and I do a lot of work in terms of interior design photography, and I learned it, and it was great. So my passion right now, you can say, my passion is broadcasting, cinematography, photography. Those are my passions, apart from my wife and children.
so having talked about passion, talked
Mm,
about helping your wife and whatnot.
mm.
So, are you trying to say you're still testing waters with the photography thing. You don't want to step out. That's why you're still in the confines of your wife's business.
The thing is, as an interior design photographer, you work for interior designers, you work for architects, and you also work for any other person that might need their space to be shown in a professional light in terms of images. So I can photograph restaurants, I can photograph hotels, I can photograph, you know, skyscrapers, buildings, and all that. But what I can't do is photograph another interior designer's work because, in fairness, I learned that for my wife, and I think it's a, I learned it for her. Yeah,
Oh,
but I have a passion for it. But people approach me, hey, can you take a photograph? I said, no, no.
or you can't take an image of someone like, is that what
No, someone. No, no, no. Oh, wait, wait, wait. I can take. Oh no, I am very. Oh, I wish I had an iPad. I will be showing you because I can't. I don't know. I don't think I can share. Can I? No, I can't. I can't. I don't think I can share the photography of. Okay, you know what? Let me do you. Let me. I think I'm in front of my computer. So let me see. I can take a photograph of the human form. Oh, I can do it. I'm very good at it. But when I wanted to start it, my wife said, okay, so you are doing photography, interior design photography. I said, yes. Then I told her, I said, I know how to do portrait photography. She said, oh, really? So I did for her. And she said, oh, okay. So I want to ask you a question. Which which gender will you be photographing? Are you going to be photographing? You see where the trouble came. Are you going to be are you going to be photographing men? I said, why would I want to photograph ugly men? She said, so it's women. She said, I don't know if I am comfortable with you, and all that. And she was joking, but women, they tell you the truth in humor.
yeah, yeah.
So I said, all right.
That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
test.
So I just said, all right, let me show you a bit of my photography. That is a real picture. So this is my wife's project. This is what we did.
Okay.
Um, yeah. This is in Ikoyi. Let me show you another one. Let me show you. So I have, so for portrait photography, I know portrait photography so well, but I can't do it for a living because, my wife doesn't, I don't think she likes the fact that, I'll be photographing, all those
Mm,
models, all those full
mm.
models and stuff like that. So,
Wow. It's
well,
okay.
I can see she's trying to mark
That's
her territory. She's trying to mark her territory, but
fair
you
enough.
know,
Fair enough. I
yeah,
totally
fair.
understand that.
But
Let's
okay, let me show you another. Let me show you another work. This one, yeah, this is it. This was Ikoyi. We did this in Nigeria. All these designs work is from Viva Bella Designs. You understand? That's my wife's company, and she's one of the best interior designers, by my humble opinion, in Africa. And she's doing work. So that is it. Sorry, I'm letting you see my my work on who wants to be
it's
on my
okay.
laptop. Sorry about
It's
that.
okay. It's
Okay,
okay. It's okay. That
so
brings me to the next question.
mhm,
let's let's go back to who wants to be a millionaire. There's
mm,
something that stood you out as a host of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. It was
yeah,
your ability to infuse comedy while you interact with whoever was on the hot seat
yes,
at the time.
yes,
How were you
yes.
able to do that? Because it's not something most broadcaster or hosts do. How
Do
were you able to do that?
I am just a natural. You know how I talk on the show is how I talk in real life.
Fact, fact.
You
I saw
understand?
that in
So,
Vegas.
yes, yes. So that's how I talk. So some people think when the microphone is turned on, or there's the camera facing them, they have to give this alternate character, and and it's nice if you can pull it off. But I feel for consistency, I'll be natural. And when you are natural, you tend to do the natural things that you do in real life. All my friends know I'm the class clown. I'm the life of the party. Even in the family, when I'm not in family reunions, they know that someone is missing because I'm the one that was like, hey, well, I cause a lot of trouble, and I make people laugh in real life. So I have just applied it to my repertoire in my work since I'm being natural. So if you're natural, there's a tendency that all your natural traits will reflect in your presentation. And that's just all. So
Oh, nice. That brings me to the next questions.
Mhm.
Next question. For
Mm.
13 years, you were the host of one of the most watched series across the length and breadth. I wouldn't want to use Africa, because if I use Africa, I'm kind of like limiting you. It was watched across the world.
Yes.
How did that make you feel?
Well, first of all, it was larger than life. It was uncanny and surreal because we're doing a show that succeeded in countries that it wasn't supposed to succeed in. For instance, Japan had 1,000 game shows, about 1,000. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire now came to Japan. And people said, it's just, come on, he's not going to succeed because, there were other ones that were giving Who Wants to Be a Millionaire they run for their money. In terms of existence, duration of of um, of airtime, of airplay, and you know a lot of things, people followership, people really loved those shows. So when Who Wants to Be a Millionaire worldwide format came to Japan, immediately it was an instant success, and it went to Japan before Nigeria. So when it was time for Nigeria, we were watching most of the versions. I watched the Romanian version, I watched the Chinese version, the Japanese version, the Indian version. The Indian version was presented by the Indian legend of cinema, Amitabh Bachchan.
Yeah, I think I know Amita Bacha. Yeah.
Yes, Amitabh Bachchan. He was the presenter. That's why the Indian community here, they love me. Because when they tell him, hey, he's the one doing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Someone recently told an Indian, he's the one doing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. He was like, because theirs is, I think it's called Creopatry or something like that. But when they told them Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, they were like, Who wants to be a millionaire? When they said the show that Amitabh Bachchan used to present, all Indians, they do the same thing. They will hug me because Amitabh Bachchan is worshipped. And for you to tell them that in Nigeria, this is the guy that does what Amitabh Bachchan, the legend, does. Oh, so it's a huge responsibility upon my shoulders. What I could do was rely on my better judgment and, you know, my interpretation of the show. I said to myself, I said, Frank, you will do the show your way. And the way to do it is, let's be natural. Let's be witty. Let's be humorous. But once it's time for business, cut the humor, go straight to business. Be business like. Don't undermine the importance of the show by making it too humorous and unserious. So that's why sometimes I'll something and everybody laughs and everything. Then I go back, I switch back. I say, all right, so at 7 more questions to go, you have amassed a fortune of this amount. You have 2 lifelines. Steady, slowly wins the race.
All right,
All right. So your 8th question, here it comes. So
all
so
right.
that's
That,
that's
that
how.
brings me. That brings me to the next question.
Mm.
September 11th, 2009. Aroma
Oh, the,
Aroma won the 10 million naira. How did that make you feel seeing Aroma won that money? Were you happy? Were you sad?
You
what was your
know, everybody asks me the question as if it is my money the guy is winning. You
okay?
know,
We
you
can't
know,
understand you were representing a brand. So the sole purpose of every brand is to maximize profit. Some brand wouldn't want some folks to win the
on the
money.
contrary,
Sorry?
on the contrary, let me give you an insight. Let me give you the analytics, the financial analytics. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire was sponsored by MTN. First of all, it was sponsored by other companies. There were like 5 companies sponsoring Who Wants to Be a Millionaire for it to air. Then all of a sudden, MTN came and said, tell everybody to go home. We're taking over everything. And we're not only doing it once a week, we're doing it twice a week. Actual episode. I'm not talking about repeat. We do He Wants to Be a Millionaire on Friday. We do it on Sunday. No repeats. We're not repeating. It's different episodes. That's what MTN said they want. MTN entered the show. MTN, that's why I always give props to MTN because, they did what no other company could do and could still do till now. They sponsored that show. They entered it. It was their flagship show. So let me give you an insight. On every episode of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, we have 120 audience members. Even though, no, regardless of whatever happens in terms of prize winning, each of 20 of them would go that time. 20 of them would win 20,000 naira each. That's 800,000 naira. 20 of them. That's 800,000 naira. Then we have home play. Home people would win 20,000 naira. 20 home play people will win 20,000 naira. That's 1.6 million. Okay. Now, let's not calculate the prize that people won in the hot seat. Let's calculate that now. We do it 2 times a year. 2 times a week, sorry. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? 2 times a week. So if we did two times a week, what does that tell you? 2 times a week, multiply it by 52 weeks. Let me just say 50 weeks. 2 times a week. That means we do Wants to Be a Millionaire 100 different episodes a year. Okay? Now, please calculate, multiply 1.6 million that the audience and the home play people win times 100.
That's a lot of
That's
money.
that's 100 at that time. That's 1.6 million. That's 160 million a year that we gave out that time.
But then
Come to.
But then again, Mr. Frank, you guys were making more than 160 million. We all know what MTN
No,
makes.
the trick is this: the MTN, the brand, they give us money. Say, whoa, how much is it to sponsor Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? We tell them, they give us the money. Bam. So we have the money already. Now we are begging people at least. So the top prize that time was 10 million naira. Only one person won it in 2009. A couple of other people won 5 million naira. See, general knowledge is no joke, it's vast. How much were people winning? For people to say, were you happy? For 10 million naira, just one. Of course, we were saying our last. And he gave us the mileage. That's why you can still remember Aroma Fodike on the 11th of September
2009.
2009. He won 10 million. And that's why you can remember. People weren't winning. You know why? We aren't a reading society.
Facts.
So we were encouraging. I used to encourage on my own. I would say, hey, you know what, guys? The way to do this is just read. You don't start reading topics. Read anything you can at any time. If you watch Slumdog Millionaire, how the boy was answering the question was based on his experiences. The host was saying, how do you know this answer if you are not cheating? The guy will now say, well, one day I was walking in the slums and everything. I stumbled upon a baker. And that's how, and the baker, I was hungry. I asked the baker to give me something to eat. And the baker said, you don't have money. The baker gave me something to eat. Then it was in the bakery while I was eating that I realized the meaning of a baker's dozen. You know, I'm just giving you a wild example. So general knowledge, you cannot just choose topics and be reading for general knowledge. You have to know it. And to know it is slowly and steadily reading habit, amassing, you know, and all that. That's how to garner the knowledge of that. So people weren't winning. So when people say, "Oh, were you happy or were you sad?" For 10 million naira, do you know how much we spent? Do you know how much the studio cost? Do you know how much the equipment? Do you know the number of crew we have in the background running that show? We had a director, assistant director, we had a light person, assistant light technician, we had 7 cameramen at once. And those cameramen have stand-ins. Then, apart from that, we have the people handling VTR, the editing, We had marketers. We had a whole office on riding on the coattails of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. We had a whole system, a whole factory. We had a team of researchers constructing questions for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. So for someone to come and ask me, how did you feel? They took your money. Immediately, one guy said, immediately they won 10 million. Huh? He said immediately they won 10 million. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire stopped.
Well, everyone is entitled to their opinion.
No, yeah. But the thing is that if it's an opinion is the view you have on something, not the facts. Some people say it like facts. So it's not an opinion. He is stating it as a fact. So listen to me. Listen to me. We had money. Money was waiting.
Wow.
I don't
Wow.
want to. I don't want to tell you my
Guys,
salary.
can you guys hear? Frank said MTN had money.
It's not about. It's not about MTN. MTN is, of course, a telecommunications company. MTN should be given props because you know what? MTN plunked down money for that thing. MTN said, take the money for 10 years. That's why sometimes I'm driving at Falomo, I branch MTN headquarters. I don't know, some of my friends are not there anymore. I just go there. Not because of anything, because I'm thankful that one of the foremost corporate people that took Who Wants to Be a Millionaire like this and said, this is ours. And it wasn't theirs. Their only link to that program was giving us money. Then come and put your adverts. They didn't own it directly.
Mr. Frank, that brings me to the next question.
Talk to me.
How much were you paid?
Well, the thing is, I can't say how much I was paid.
Why? You're
but when
pleading
it's
the fifth right now? You
no,
just said a lot of money was spent.
well, nobody in his right mind would reveal their remuneration. You shouldn't ever reveal your remuneration. You could only,
Okay, can you give us a range?
okay. I can reveal what I was paid at the beginning.
Okay, let's hear.
At the beginning of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in 2004, my salary was 170,000 naira.
Like for each show?
No, salary. I was working. I was going to work every day. I was helping with questions because the show is the first show of its kind. I was one of the people that really constructed the structure of the show such that the crew could shoot it. When we first started Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, the owners of the show are in England. No. Let me explain. This show started in England in 1998. Then it was so big that other people from other parts of the world said, hey, we want to do this show. We need permission to do. So they'll go back to the owners of the franchise to say, all right, the owners of the franchise say, you pay us this amount to do the show. Then they'll say, all right, you have to buy this equipment. They will make sure you stick to international standards. But Nigeria didn't have that standards when Who Wants to Be a Millionaire came because that was the first show of its kind that came. So we had people from the UK flying in while we're trying to record. We couldn't record even 5 minutes of the show. Why? Because the show is a template. When it starts, montage rolls, starts. After montage, crane shots. after crane shot, I remember it like it was yesterday. High wide angle shots, camera one,
Hey, Prolin,
host talks.
action.
Yeah, you know, then hosts, I go, good
I know,
evening, welcome to Who Wants to
right?
Be a
I
Millionaire,
know.
blah, 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 blah. Medium shot. We have, it's like a choreography. So you have to follow, if you don't follow that thing, eh? Oyibo people will not allow you to do the show. You have to show standards. So that's what we were fighting. We're fighting. So I had to work every day to make sure it comes to fruition.
Mr. Frank, I'm a project manager, project consultant by profession. That's what I do. And we are taught to be, as a project manager, we are keen about the process because it's the process that brings the product. And you've talked so much about Who Wants to Be a Billionaire. I didn't even know you were part of the process. I thought you just came when everything was ripe, bam, bam, and you started doing everything.
No,
Guys,
no.
do not underestimate the process. The process is key. Process is key.
Of
It's key.
course, of course.
Noah has just said it now. I like, if there's anything I would learn from this interview is that you were part of the process.
Of
I
course.
thought the process was already on ground
No.
and you came and boom, boom, you were doing it. I appreciate you for unveiling this right now. Because a lot of people see the products, they don't see the process, they don't see the planning. That's why I tell young folks of these days in their 18s, 19s, 20s, I'm like, you have to go through the process. You cannot cut the process. The process is what takes you to the product. There are 3 P's in project management. We call it the process, the planning, and the product. But a lot of people just want to get to the product without the process. And it's
Thank you.
not done that way.
Thank you. That's what's wrong with the with Nigeria right now, because everybody since, and I don't blame them. You know, those days we didn't have the internet. We were doing everything
Yeah.
analog. So analog is you have to do it step by step by step by step by step by step by step. And we still have that notion. Those of us that come from that culture, we still have the notion that you have to do it. But now, check out anybody you see. They don't have to. If you want to prepare a business plan right now, if you just key in the prompt, and all these AIs will just spit out a detailed business plan with analytics, graphs, pie charts, and everything, and conclude it in less than a minute.
Facts, facts, facts.
But before then, we had to
Go
go
specific
and do
out of the
research.
box.
Yes, yes. So I don't blame them because they want everything now. Why am I should be working smart, not hard, as they say. But sometimes you work hard to end up with a smart result.
Okay.
You know.
Wow. Nice
Yeah.
one. I understand Who Wants to Be a Billionaire is something everyone talk and everything and everything. What was your most challenging process about Who Wants to Be a Billionaire?
Yeah, you really have nice questions. So that's true. I think the most challenging thing about Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is number one. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is a template show.
A template, okay?
Template show. So you go host entrance. That's the first thing that happens. No montage, music, crane moves, host enters, host
Action.
welcomes everybody. Then introduces contestants. After introducing contestants, it comes back to host. Host tells everybody about the next procedure, the fastest finger first. Host does that. After telling them, you hear 1 beep and 3 sounds. The question appears. The host asks the contestants to arrange those options in the right order. After it is given, contestants now try to get the answer. It stops, and we now turn to see the results and see who made it to the hot seat. Then they come, sit down. After it sits down, the guy comes, meets the host. We walk to the center of the pod. We sit down, shake our hands, and say, all right, let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. After all the familiarizations, let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Then we start with question one. Question one for this thing. template every step of the way. If you are not careful, you will be a template too, because you'll be saying the same things. I hear what broadcaster, one of the dreaded features of a broadcaster is repeat saying the same thing. Now, I listen to MCs, they'll say, okay, all right, I want to introduce you to this man. He's this, is that, is that. Let's make welcome this. They'll talk that let's make welcome 17 times that same day, as if you don't have the existence of a dictionary or a thesaurus. A thesaurus is the dictionary that gives you words similar in meaning or opposite in
Yeah,
meaning.
yeah, I know.
Yeah. So if you say, hey, let's make welcome the first one, and you are welcoming another person, is a template, like events are a template. If you say, let's make welcome, you are the next one, you are going to say, all right, let's unravel the presence of this luminary in. I say it in different ways. The third one, you'll be like, okay, it's time to hear an applause for our next guest. You say it differently.
Fact,
But
fact. That's what
but
gives you an
broadcast.
edge over every other of your colleagues. Yeah, right. You're right. You're right.
So, but now, if you do for template situations like that, you will end up being a template. And when you become a template,
You fizz out
everybody knows where you're
easily.
easily. So what I did was I said, all right, I'm going to try and sound different. Anytime you see who wants to be a millionaire, either my mood is brand new. If my mood is not brand new, my outfit is striking, or my
Mr.
presentation
Frank,
is
are you a
different.
Christian?
Hmm?
Are you a Christian? So
Oh, yes, I am.
there's this song that they sing that say, "Is they are new every morning."
New,
So that was what
new every evening. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Nice. Okay, yeah,
And
that
it's
leads me to the
it's
next
difficult. It's easy to get carried away by um normalcy, like by routine. It's very
question.
easy to get carried away by, if you enter a routine, you have to get out of it. You can't just be
Yeah,
doing routines
Mr.
in
Frank,
anything you do.
I haven't perused through the comment section. A lot of your fans are asking, "Is the show going to come back?" Can you answer this?
Yeah, we're trying to come back. Now, the thing about corporate Nigeria is that, we've been trying to get them on the show. The show is very difficult. It's very
Fact.
expensive nowadays. So what they need to do is just have a little faith. I met a company. They were interested. They were quite keen, but one of their PR consultants asked me, said, "Hey, our clients, um, how am I going to get our clients to watch this show?" I'm like, "Are you talking about Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?" I said, "The age demographics for that show is between the ages of 5 and 85. Everybody watches the show. So why are you I'm sure your client fits in somewhere in there." But the guy is trying to overthink because they think that everything should be designed for Gen Z, which is not true. Gen Z, they are very populated, but some of the Gen Z people are asking for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire back. So, you know, we are trying to get back.
All right,
I
guys,
am
you've heard
sure
it
we're going to
from
get
the
back, I'm sure.
horse's mouth. Mr. Frank had said, "Who wants to be a millionaire is going to." Sorry, I keep saying billionaire. Maybe you guys are going to up it to below
Oh,
billions.
or maybe you are going to be a billionaire very soon.
Come back, guys. Just hanging. In case you're just tuning in, this is Catching Up with the Stars, and I'm hanging out with the legendary himself, Frank Edoho. All
Thank you.
right, sir. We've talked about the challenges.
Mm.
For 13 years, I definitely would say there was an embarrassing moment. What was your most embarrassing moment during that show?
Are you saying during the show
No,
itself?
yes. No, for the 13 years you were the host for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, what
Mm.
was your most embarrassing moment? I mean, every day can be rosy, cool, sweet. You must have had an embarrassing moment.
There was a time that I had a cold, and my producer insisted I do the show
Wow.
with a cold. So my voice was like,
Mm,
and all that. I did the show. Yeah, I had to. do it. So it was embarrassing for me because I told them, I said, hey, we can postpone. They said we can't afford to. That if we drop the ball now, that we won't be able to meet up in terms of broadcast. We used to record the show. Some people think it's live. It's not live. We used to record the show. The thing that made people suggest it was live is they phone a friend. When you just say, okay, we're going to call somebody,
Mm-hmm.
to be, and they thought it was live, and the person was answering the call right now and stuff like that. But you know, so I think that would be one of my most embarrassing moments. Presenting the show in a cracked voice induced by cold, by illness. Yeah.
Oh, nice, nice,
So
nice. Mr. Frank,
yeah,
I am an aspiring host. My dream is to be a world class host. I don't know how that.
you're not an aspiring host. You're a host already.
I'm not
Don't ever say
I'm not
you're
going
an
to use
aspiring
Mr. Frank.
host. Don't limit yourself by your words.
Okay, okay.
You are a host. That's why we are all listening to you
Thank you
right now. You are
so
hosting.
much. I appreciate that, Mr. Frank.
Huh.
Now,
Hmm.
there's something about there's something I haven't studied a lot about hosts, broadcasters, and everything. There's a particular feature that stands them out. Let's take a case study of if we go to Nigeria, let's use Nigeria as a case study. We talk about Ebuka. Ebuka is my good friend. What stands Ebuka
Ebuka.
out? Infectious smiles, his dress code.
Ah,
We talk
Ebuka
about
can.
Ike,
Yes.
Ike. You talk about Benjamin. They all have their
Joseph
features. For you,
Benjamin. Yeah.
what would you say is your most interesting feature?
I think my most interesting feature is the ability to say something in a way that nobody else says it.
Mm,
That's just my
mm,
selling point. So
mm.
instead of me to say hello and welcome to, I say welcome to Wants to Be a Millionaire. This is a show where you can win 10 million naira. You have three lifelines, 50, 54, and everything. And ask the audience. We hope you will stay with us to watch. I don't say it like that. I say from Lagos, Nigeria, I say from Lagos, Nigeria, and Ultima Studios comes a worldwide phenomenon that has blazed the world from 1998. Started in England, and now you're watching it in Nigeria. Who wants to be a millionaire? Silly question, because everybody will say, yes, I want to be a millionaire. And if you think you can answer it, just come and answer 15 questions by dialing 132 with an MTN line. But for now, you have to witness what other people could do to clinch 10 million naira to the Ross of our accountant. So we hope you stay till the end of the show and be part of that heist. Let's meet the contestants. Here they are. Nobody says it like me.
All
That's it.
right, all right, all right, Mr. Frank, you're taking me to that realm. A show of that magnitude and
Yeah.
being the host, I must say, from based of what all you said now, I must say the show kind of like pushed you to do a lot of research, get yourself equipped because you have to be fresh. You have to come fresh every now and then, right?
Yes, yes, yes,
Mm.
yes. You have to. You just have to. That's broadcasting for you. Broadcasting is the ability to sound, say the same thing, but make it sound as if it's a new thing, but it's the same message. But the way you say it, you have to learn how to say things differently, but it's the same meaning. Especially, that's why I said that routine effect will kick in if you say it the same way.
Mm. Mm.
It will kick in. People will find you boring. Ah,
Mm.
isn't that what he
People
said the other
find
time?
you
He used this
boring.
word. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. They'll find you boring.
Mm.
I'm broadcasting. You're not supposed to be
Mm.
boring. Check out this guy, Peter Drury. Peter Drury is a football commentator. That guy is a legend. You know why I say he's a legend? That guy has the ability. He's better. Look, that guy. That guy's ability of saying things differently. He beats me 100%. That's the guy. I can't compete with that. I can say it. You know why? Okay, let me give you an example. If someone takes a free kick, the ball go the ball curves, over the defense, the wall of defense, and gets into the goal. Normal people would say, Oh, that was a great free kick. Yeah, he curled the ball into the goal, and the goalkeeper didn't see it, and everything. That's okay. That's a good way of that, but it's not fantastic. Let me show you fantastic. Peter Drury, instead of him to say that, Peter Drury will say something like, "That's a fantastic goal, decorated with dip and curl." That's what he says. So instead of you to say the ball curved and dipped, or the ball curved downwards, up above the defense wall and curved downwards into the goal, Peter Drury will say, I said that was a classic goal, decorated with dip and curl. That is how to say things differently. You must learn how. If you don't know how to say things differently, you don't have any business being a
Yeah,
broadcaster.
Mr. Frank, based on everything you said now, what stands you out as a broadcaster and as a host is your ability to read extensively and read to expand your horizons.
Yeah. You can read. The thing about that is this: you can read, but you don't have to read everything and go crazy. Say, look at everything I have to read. No, you read what is in topic for you.
What is in topic for you?
You read. Okay, supposing now you are presenting. Okay, I presented the healthcare awards many months back. Healthcare awards. So I decided to refresh my register for medical terms about doctors. I decided to even go and look for doctor jokes and see which one I could slide in a witty fashion. So I'm in topic because that's what I want to go and present. Another thing, another trick you can pull is if you you can present along the lines of what you know already.
Mm.
Okay, like I have a passion for, apart from football, I have a passion for shoes. I love shoes because I didn't have shoes in my university. I had two pairs of shoes, and they used to yab me. So I made sure that I bought shoes in this lifetime. You can't catch me. You can't catch me. If you look, anytime you see me look down, you will see something because I invest in shoes. So that's my passion. Now, if at an event and I'm presenting, or I'm presenting a TV program, I could use something from shoes just to show you that I'm knowledgeable. You see, the greatest trick a good broadcaster has ever pulled is to give the audience the impression that he never prepared for this. It is natural. So you prepare, but when you come out, you act like this, as if it's flowing. So I could use what I know already to be the basis of my presentation.
Mm.
So you understand what you know. I love football. I love shoes. I used to love video games. I love watching movies. So since I do that, I can take up my passion for movies and say, "Hello, everybody. Welcome to the epic adventure titled Who Wants to Be a Millionaire." I'm using Who Wants to Be a Millionaire as an example. Welcome to the epic adventure titled Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Well, you might think it's just an ordinary game show, but believe me, there are dragons that are ready to incinerate you if you are not careful. Let me explain. If if you see the next question and you don't have any idea, it would be advisable for you to walk away. But if you don't walk away and you want to venture into the dragon's cavern, believe me, combustion will be your destiny. So you see what I just did? I just
Mm.
said, okay, let me take something from Game of Thrones. And I'm using that Game of Thrones thing and I'm
Yeah,
doing it.
you
You
ability
understand?
to use things,
You have
right?
to infuse it. It's your this, and that way you are exercising your brain for the ability to not only do it, but to do it when you require it. It's
Mm.
exercise. So before while you're talking, talk, it will come to a point when you learn a lot of things and you apply it and everything, there will come a time that you don't need to prepare. When you just come out, when you're talking, it's just like when you start talking and talking, you don't know where you are landing, but you know you
Mm.
must land. because of the experience.
Mm.
So that is the thing. You don't have to read what you like. Start from reading what you like. Then use that for your presentation. And I'm not talking about broadcasting alone. I'm talking about when you are marketing. When you are marketing, imagine someone you are marketing say, hey, this product is the great product. This is what you need to do, blah, blah, blah. Then you ask the guy, the person said, I don't know. The person said, hey, you not ask the person, have you watched Game of Thrones? The person says, I'm using Game of Thrones now. Have you watched Game of Thrones? The person said, yes, I've watched Game of Thrones. He said, all right, you've watched Game of Thrones. I said, remember the people that doubted Khaleesi, the mother of dragons. Have you forgotten? He said, yes. I said, they didn't believe in her when she started with her humble beginnings. But at the end, she became the queen of many nations. In the same vein, this product I'm handing to you might look small, but by the time it garners all the accolades and all the testimonials of its true quality, you will know that you wasted your time by not aligning to it at an early stage. So this is the early price. I suggest you use it. You have to be able to be versatile by using your passion and including it in even your inclusion of Game of Thrones already. If you say, do you like Game of Thrones? Say, yeah, I like Game of. You have to look for what the person likes, and you have to try and use that to key into to make a connection with the person. Let me tell you, business is about connection. If someone connects with you, the same person that gave you a 10 million naira job can give you a 1 billion job. It's the same thing. All you have to do is look for a connection.
Mr. Frank, wow.
Yeah.
Eye opener, expanding my horizons,
Mhm.
motivated to do more with what I'm doing currently. Oh,
Exactly. Exactly.
if I was
You
to
have
ask
to.
you,
Mm.
you left Who Wants to Be a Millionaire September 2nd, 2017. And up until now, you're still fresh and your horizons are popping out, all those things. What would you have
Mm.
said? What would you have done to keep yourself relevant in the industry? What did you do to keep yourself relevant?
Well, I think the thing is this: I didn't need to keep myself relevant. You see, if you do a show like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is a show that comes once in a lifetime. Once in a lifetime. If you are lucky to get Wants to Be a Millionaire, and you did it to the appreciation of teaming admirers and everything, then you don't have any problem. You can stay for years without being relevant. And what is relevance actually? As a broadcaster, one of the tenets of broadcasting is you have to indulge in a lot of things. If you want to be a broadcaster, you would have learned many things. When I say many things, I mean you would have been a presenter, TV presenter, radio presenter, reporter, newscaster. If you went through the right way, by now you should know how to cast the news. By now you should know how to produce the news, which I know. By now you should know how to edit. When I say edit, edit the news bulletin and also edit video images. You should know how to write scripts. You should know how to create programs and write synopses. You should know how to do football commentary or any commentary. You should know voiceovers. You should know there are a lot of this. So, as a broadcaster, by the time I came on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, I was a voiceover artist, I was a producer, I was editing audio, I was writing articles. When I first came to Lagos, my articles that I went to Encomium and they published it for their magazine called Real Stars, edited by Azu Arinze. So that's it. When someone says a broadcaster's career or the person is not relevant, there are things we do in the background. Some people define relevance that if I don't see you, that means you are not relevant. That means it's easy for someone that is not relevant to appeal to you because you see him all the time. It doesn't mean they're doing anything. So that's it. A broadcaster, bro, I love broadcasting. You must know many things. You cannot go hungry in any land. So if you travel now, you can do narration. You can do. You can say, okay, let me just read the news as a freelance news reader. If you go to any country, you can say, okay, let me work for the Africa Service, and you read the news there. You will get paid immediately, instantly. So when people say relevance, they are talking about social media presence, or you trending, or you doing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire was, if I used to do a radio program on Radio Nigeria called Cruise Control. If you put Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and Cruise Control, I prefer Cruise Control. You know why? Cruise Control is intimate to me. I play music. When I play music, I get text messages uh, from listeners, and I use that space to say what I feel. So I'm like, hey, all right. So the next song I'm gonna play for you is a panacea to heartbreak. Most people have undergone heartbreak, especially women, and we commiserate with them. But this particular song is dedicated to men because men, they cry in private, they hide their feelings. So, to all the men, I'm giving you the permission to open up wherever you are and you are facing hardship, heartbreak, betrayal, disappointment. You know what? I think it's time to cry and let it all out. And I'll play music. Bam. Look, I love that because it was impacting people. I love that. Wants to Be a Millionaire is cool too, but I love radio more than TV. So we've been doing work. So when people say, "Oh, you're not relevant anymore," I say, see, first of all, I didn't set out to do this job because I want you to think I'm relevant. I don't want relevance. If me being relevant is what will make you think that I am contributing my share to the society, then I don't really care. I don't really want your opinion. If you start doing things and not caring what people think, that's when relevance would. See, I didn't do the thing I'm doing on Twitter. I don't look for trouble. That means I won't answer anybody who doesn't look for trouble, my trouble in the first place. I chat normally with people. I'm the only one of the few entertainers that I'll be chatting with people I don't even know. Why? Because indirectly, I'm telling you that you matter. You matter. So to answer your question, I've
Yeah.
been relevant
Oh.
because I didn't care about relevance. That's
Mm.
it.
So, Mr. Frank, if we were to go back to the hands, take the hands of time back, do you think there's something you want to go back and effect a change on your career? Or do you think everything has gone so smooth and well for you?
Well,
I'm sorry,
not only
the way you're smiling. So
well, actually,
when you're meeting a legend, you have to come prepared.
yeah. You have good questions. That's why I admire. That's why when you said host, I'm trying to be a host. No. You are a host already because already you've asked me questions that impact my answer. That's why if you have the ability to ask a question with two lines, and the person you are interviewing, interviewee, answers the question with a long, that means your two lines struck a chord with that person. That's why there's an outpour of reply. So already you are a host. That thing
Thank you, I appreciate
is
that.
difficult for it's difficult for many people to do it. Difficult for many people to do it. The things I would have changed, I wouldn't change anything in my career. I would change a lot of things in terms of my personal life. That's what. If I went back, there are many things that I would have changed. The first thing I would have changed would have been I wouldn't have gotten married in the first place. This is my second marriage. This is my second marriage. Yes. No, you see, let me tell you something. I am 52 years old, Samuel. And frankly, my first 50 years, I was politically correct. Now, I will tell you what it is. Marriage is not an achievement, it's not an
Mm.
accolade. It's not.
It's time to
Let's
write.
see. No, 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 no. I'm telling you, it's not an achievement. It's not an achievement. People, I think it's just crazy people that think, oh, I've been married for this long. Yes, yes, of course. Kudos to all of them. But really, marriage is not, it's not an achievement. I wouldn't have rushed into marriage, not because of anything, but I just feel that my first marriage, I suffered a I suffered more than I gained. You understand me? What I gained was children, and I love them. But knowing what I know, I would have avoided marriage till the right time. People won't tell you this. Oh, marriage, it is. Oh, I have not married and everything and stuff. I know it can be very challenging for women, especially women that say, "Oh, they are too old." People say, "I should be married by now." No, no, you shouldn't. You are not ready, even though you are 49. If you have not married, that means simply you haven't. It's better. See, let me tell you, it's better to be happy and single than sad and married,
It's better to be happy.
and single than sad to be married. See, I say these things, and people just look at me and say, this, and everything. No, no, marriage. I would have rushed into it. I would have just stayed the course. But even then, even if I did stay and I got married again,
But Mr. Frank,
people are allowed to make
that brings me to the
mistakes.
next
Yeah,
question.
yeah. Go ahead, please.
I'm Nigerian, you're Nigerian, I'm proudly Nigerian. I've been doing Nigerian proud by virtue of my profession,
Oh,
representing
nice,
Nigeria everywhere. You know how
nice,
we are
nice.
so big on at the certain age brackets, you have to get married. Even when you're not married, your parents want you to be married.
Mm,
And some religious believe marriage is ordained by God. You have to get married and early and everything. Are you trying to disbelieve? Because I had asked you at the beginning of this conversation, this interview, like, are
yes,
you a Christian? And you said,
I
and
am a Christian.
most religious believes like marriage is ordained by God. You have to get married in time so you can procreate
Yeah,
early enough.
yeah.
So are you trying to say those belief systems are not what it? Because I feel like the essence of marriage is for us to procreate early and whatnot.
Is it
But with what
possible
you
for
said,
you to? Is it possible for you to procreate without marriage?
of course, a lot of people procreate out of wedlock.
So what are you saying?
So are you one of those that you you advise, you suggest, you push people to procreate out of wedlock? Because
No,
because
I'm not. I'm not.
a child born out of wedlock have their psychological trauma.
What about a child that experiences divorce? Doesn't have psychological
Both
trauma.
child have psychological trauma. I'm not trying to
What
dispute
is
that
the
fact.
rate of divorce these days?
Ma, the rates no be here, especially for United States of America. And we don't want to go into that's another conversation.
It's getting to
Mr. Frank,
Nigeria. It's getting to
my
Nigeria.
book that is coming out, you get a copy of it. I talked about it in my book. You
That's
get
what
a
I'm
copy.
saying. So you really understand what I'm talking. I'm not saying you shouldn't get married. I mean, if you some people in this life are just lucky in terms of
Mhm.
marriage that they met an understanding person. I'm talking about both genders now. In terms of marriage, I think men are really the problem because the man has this uncanny ability to roam the streets and come back right back to his home. But the women don't have that ability. But these days, women are indulging in that. These days, those days, it was a taboo for you to think that a woman would go and have extra marital affairs. But these days, it is rampant. Now, it brings me back to the question. If I want to get married, what is the reason of marriage? We can say procreation. We can say procreation because there are people that have procreated out of marriage and the children still came up. Not maybe not on a general sense. It is not, I mean, why? I should get together with someone that's going to make my life miserable just because I want to bring a child in the world, into the world? No. I feel that's why Paul said, if you want to get married, if you can stay. The first thing says, if you can stay,
Yeah, stay alone. Yeah. Paul, if Corinthians,
stay alone. That's the first thing. He doesn't say, oh, get married to this, then. But if you can stay, he said, if you can stay first. If you can stay, stay. But if you can't, get married. So what does that? So he's trying in the body of Christ. He's trying to restrict you from fornication. He's trying to restrict you from fornication. But let them not tell me that the main reason for marriage is procreation. No.
no. That's one of the reasons. I'm not saying
It's one
was.
of the reasons, but some people think it's the main reason. It's
Well,
not the main reason.
well,
Main reason is
go ahead, sir.
the main reason is for you to not be jumping from place to place.
All right, guys, you've heard it from Frank. Mr. Frank have dropped the bombshell. For the guys on
No,
the
I've said it. I don't.
very reason
I've said it.
of getting
See,
married is not to jump from place to place.
are you
All right.
married? Are you married? Are you married?
No, I'm not married.
Mm. Are you going to marry soon?
If God pleases, yeah.
What do you mean, if God pleases?
If God pleases.
How are you going to know God pleases?
Don't worry, it's my belief. I plead the fifth on that.
Oh, you are now pleading in fifth on your own show. Okay, all right, no problem, no problem now.
Is it? No, Mr. Frank, some things are better left unsaid.
But I'm lucky this time. Second time around, I'm lucky. I met my soulmate and stuff
Oh,
like that.
shout out to your
So
soulmates.
yeah. I'm just lucky. But that doesn't mean I will not tell. She gets angry when I tell this. You stop discouraging people. Are you saying you are unhappy with me? I say, come on, I cannot be unhappy with you. But what I'm saying is that some people are unlucky, both from men and women. Some women will not take it. Some men will not take it. So what's the use of me and you coming together in bunch of friends, promising each other stuff? When the trouble starts now, this one says, oh, this one says they jump and go, this one will go here, and before everything. Well, that's my opinion actually. It's not fact, it's an opinion. So hey, do what you want
Now,
with it.
that area, that marriage issue is a very deep and broad one. I guess if we start dwelling
Mhm.
on it, we won't leave the live section today. And my phone is beeping because there's a section where your fans have to come say some good things they like on you, about you. My phone is already
Good
beeping.
things. No, let her ask questions. What's good things? Well, I don't want to hear
You-
good things. I
Oh,
want to hear
okay,
things.
and when I bring them up, they'll ask questions. That's what they do.
Yeah, let him ask
But the
questions.
culture,
Let me. I'm ready.
they come to say good things. Well, we've had series of where people come and they want to say something contrary, and we'll take them out. But
No, 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 no. If they want to say something, see, that's the thing about the joy of being a broadcaster. I have answers to every question. If you come and say this, I will clarify. That's it.
all
You
right,
don't have to.
that's nice.
You don't have to take anything for. You don't have to be angry at people for asking you a question. You don't kill the
Fact,
messenger. You just answer. Yeah,
fact.
yeah. Go ahead, please.
Frank, we're in an era where skit making is almost like a thing in Nigeria. We've had top skit makers. We've
Yes, keep
had
making.
we've had top skit makers. We had Mr. Macaroni, Shaggy, Sabinus, and virtually all of these skit makers. You've done something with them. And to me, each time I see all of those content, I'm like, how did you transition into working with these skit makers? Because a broadcaster going to skit making and everything, I'm like, Mr. Frank, are you a jack of all trades, master of none? What is
No, no,
happening?
no, no. The skit making is a cameo appearance.
What cameo appearance you say?
Cameo appearance that it becomes it's a cameo. A cameo is just once is a one-off. You just appear in the thing and you go. I don't appear. I appeared in Macaroni. That was last year. I've not appeared since
Shaggy,
then.
Shaggy this year.
Shaggy, Shaggy last year once. I've not appeared again. Then Bayou invited me. I've appeared once. I'm not gonna appear again.
Okay. I
So
guess some that
it's not that
who knows.
I'm not in charge of the
Mr.
production. You
Fun is going
understand?
to invite you anytime soon. I speak it into
Who?
existence.
Who?
Mr. Fun is Sabinus. I'm speaking it into existence.
Sabinos. Does Sabinos do guest
Oh, I don't
entertainers?
think
Does he do that?
he does, but what's this
Mm-hmm.
guy? There's this Abba guy that does. No, you know, all of these things, they just think out of the box and come up with something. So just expect something.
I love Taoma. I love I love Taoma. I love
No, Taoma is great. You shout out to Taoma. Taoma, wherever you are.
yeah.
Shout out to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Taoma. I love hey, come now.
I need help to charge this.
You might need help to charge this. Why don't you give mommy?
Oh, she's charging her phone.
Okay, don't worry. So when her phone is full, I'll just charge it for you, okay?
Okay.
He's shy. He told me, what are people saying about him? That's what that guy said. That's what it is. That too. Oh Jesus! I like the fact that these skip makers are using their brains instead of just sitting and expecting, stuff to happen or going into crime. They are just so talented. What I do every night before I sleep, after studying and everything, I know that okay, now it's time to sleep. I just go to TikTok. I go to, I go to Twitter, see what's happening there. Then I go to TikTok. I just to check and see what's happening. Go to
I do
Instagram
that.
just to see what's happening. Yeah. It's so nice. It's so nice. And I just see a lot of things. There was one I saw just now on Instagram before coming on to your Instagram live. This electrician. He wants to check if there's light. So there's naked wires there. He's down cutting the wires. Then, he checked it. Are you not supposed to put that screwdriver that shows light and everything? You know what this guy did? He puts his mouth there to test if there's light. The thing shocked the guy. The guy somersaulted, fell on the ground, and started running. Oh, my brother, I have not. I was laughing. So those are the things that keep me going. In terms of humor, I just love it. It's all because everybody. Nigerians are very funny. Oh.
Fact.
Nigerians go to the comments. Go to the comment section. My wife just introduced me to the comment section. So my wife has been laughing. I said, "Why are you laughing? I'm not even hearing videos." He said, "No, it's not videos. It's the
No,
comments."
yeah.
See what I said.
Comment section is the real thing. Comment
Eh?
section is the
What?
real thing. I said comment
I
section
tell you.
is the real thing. Is the real thing. Oh yeah.
Mm,
Mr. Frank,
mhm.
you are regarded as the king of replying banters, trolls, Twitter.
I am. I
Twitter.
am.
What
Okay.
what motivated you to that point? Because looking at you professionally, one would say Mr. Frank Edoho is a professional in his field of endeavor. He shouldn't be replying trolls. But when I was researching and planning for this interview and had gone to the internet, you are regarded, you, Jim Ike, Rani Omokori,
And
uh,
Daddy
and Daddy
Freeze.
Freeze. You guys are the king of replying banter. How did you find yourself in that space?
No, the thing is this. I grew up with a lot of respect. My I was born in Kano State, so I did my primary school in Kano State. Then I went to Calabar to do my secondary school. I stayed with my grandmother, my uncles, my relatives, and everything. That's where I learned respect because my uncle, my uncle was like a fatherly figure to me. So he would teach me the tenets of honor, respect, and all that, and my grandmother too. So by the time I grew up, even if someone is older than me by 6 months, I call him sir. AY, the comedian, my friend. AY has been my friend for many years. His first AY live, I helped him. I was doing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire at that time, but I helped him paste posters to publicize the show. That's how close we were. We still are close. And I just recorded his podcast. His podcast is coming out. It's going to be nice. So now, do you know that AY was always calling me bros for more than 15 years? AY was calling me bros. So one day, his wife then called me, said, "We want to do a surprise party for AY." I said, "Hey, don't worry, I'll be there." So I went there. Now they said they needed someone to coordinate everything, an MC. I said, "Hey, now." I said, "AY MC'd my brother's wedding, so for this particular one, I'll be the MC. Don't worry." So and when AY came, we surprised him. But do you know what I found out on that event? I found out that AY was older than me, but he was calling me bros all these years. AY was older than me by more than a year, and he was calling me bros. And I told him now. I told him, I said, "So your birthday has made me find out that you are older than me. So all that your bros stops today. From today, I will call you bros." So that's the kind of respect that I have for people. And I am talking on Twitter. I'm talking about Chelsea Football Club because Chelsea fans made me president. There's no club, oh, we don't have any supporters club. The main Chelsea supporters club is there with their president. Oh. But on Twitter, they call me Presido because I am a Chelsea warrior. Everybody in my house is a Chelsea fan, including the maid. They're Chelsea fans because that's how I am. But do you know something? I'm talking about Chelsea, and people start insulting me. They do it for so long, do it for so long. And I'm trying to say, "Hey, why are you insulting me like this?" Like I'm just doing it the normal way, and and people will start insulting me. More people will start insulting me. I just see one day I got angry because it started with, "Oh, who wants to be a millionaire?" I said, if Frank Lampard, who is going to be Chelsea coach, that time they were employed Frank Lampard as
Yeah, from
Chelsea coach.
Lampard. Yeah.
I say if he's a Chelsea legend, so if we lose matches, Thunder will fire any of you that will insult him because he's a Chelsea legend. Then one person answered, like they fired you from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Mm.
So what I wanted to do was I wanted to keep quiet. But you know what? I said, this stops today. Just like 6, 7 years ago. So I said, hey, actually, nobody fired me. I said, I've never been fired in all my life from anywhere. I said, the people that have let me go, actually, they actually regret it. The way that your father regretted the day he fired your mom and had you, you know. So I clapped back, and everywhere, everybody was saying, and the way I do it is I show you intelligence, I show you wit, I show you that you are a fool for even trying to do it. So I was consistent, and people were calling me, your brand. I said, Thunder, fire your brand. I said, I don't care about brand. I said, I'm a grown ass man. Nobody should fire me. Okay, I went for an event, Akroko Doctors event today. Akroko Doctors Fiesta. It's an event where there was no alcohol, no hard substances, no smoking, nothing. It's just that is the most active event I've ever attended. When they invited me to come on stage, those people cheered me like a rock star. They were not drunk. They hadn't drank because normally in concerts people will drink, and when their person got, they'll start shouting because it might be also because of drink. You see, this is the best ovation I've ever had in my life. Period. When there was no alcohol, and if face to face, nobody insulted me. But when I go to Twitter, you want to insult me. So I started as a broadcaster. Even you that you're sitting there, you have clap back. but you don't know it yet because you don't want to clap back. If you want to clap back, my brother, you will deliver something
So
that will trend.
me,
But
you're right. Me, my mouth no good. I just like staying in my lane. But if you come for me, I come for you. That's my policy.
so they were coming for me. They were in like Manchester United fans. One day I tackled Manchester United fans for 4 days, non-stop. That's when after the 4 days, that's when Chelsea people said, "No, you are our president." Manchester United. When Chelsea was losing, they say, "Yeah, Chelsea is losing." Our guy, Manchester United fans, I will send you and Madame Manchester United jerseys. I said, no. I said, don't send me jerseys because my madam has dirty towels in her kitchen already, so no need to. You know,
Oh,
they did. They were coming for my parents, but me, I kept it. I kept it live. I handled everybody. That I must have given like a. I must have given that weekend. I must have given like 70 something clapbacks, all lethal. I'm a broadcaster. Clapbacks is the easiest thing for a broadcaster. All broadcasters, because we've been talking, we've been writing scripts. We know pun, we know humor, we know wit. That's a dangerous combination. So if you see broadcasters, avoid them because that thing you're trying to type, they've been typing it and they know it more than you. It's my fellow broadcasters now that they are now starting to clap back.
yeah,
So
that's
that's
true.
how it started.
But I feel
That's
like
how it started.
the comedians should have used their platform to clap back. Those are the folks in the content
But they are
creators
afraid
that,
of being cancelled. They are afraid of
no,
being
not really
cancelled.
that. I feel like they don't want to lose brands and content and
That
whatnot.
is cancelling now. Losing brand is cancelling now.
That's true. All right, Mr. Frank. One last question before I start bringing your fans. We're not going too
One
long.
last question. I thought we were
Okay,
just
okay. You want us to stay here?
warming up. I thought we
Was
were just warming up.
no, there's a lot. My phone is beeping. I need to
I
start
know, I
bringing your
know. Go
fans.
ahead, please.
So do
Sorry,
you
go
feel
ahead with what
when
you.
you clap back at the trolls online, do you feel retribution is served?
No, retribution is not fair because normally I should be slapping you for telling me that thing. So retribution, that is soft retribution. I should be beating. See me. Let me tell you something. I have the privilege of living in both worlds. So I was born in Kano without the silver spoon, but I went to the best primary school in Kano, St. Louis Primary School. Our principal was British. That's where I got the foundation of my English. Also, my father spoke, an Akwa Ibom man, spoke perfect Queen's English. Perfect Queen's English. So I got it all from there. But they sent me to Calabar Secondary School, St. Patrick's College in Calabar. And now I went to university in Calabar. I played football. I'm a very good footballer. I played football with area boys. We used to fight on the streets. You have to defend yourself. One area guy said he's going to deal with me. I said, come for it. Come get it. And he came, we beat ourselves to almost death. You understand? Now, coming from that background, it's a mixed background. So I'm like a corporate guy with street experience. So now you want to come for me over, and I respect people. If I go to any place, somebody approaches me, I answer them. I'm polite. I don't cause trouble. If you look at all the clapbacks, I didn't start the trouble in all the except maybe Daniel Daniel Rega, I will get him. I'm still looking for him. He blocked me. I'm still looking for him. I'm still no that he will collect. He has collected though. He collected and blocked me. I said, you cannot escape. I said, you look at me, Daniel Rega. You are giving me advice. You look like a reptile who's migrating into a crustacean. You are telling me that you are talking to me, somebody that uses duvet to sew clothes. Ah man, I said I'll deal with you. I look, unless it's Daniel Rega, but all the other people, I didn't start the trouble. They'll come and insult me. They'll come and they tell me, oh, you are this, you are a wife beater, you are this and that. false stories about me, then me, I will say, hey, bring your proof. Bring your proof. Because if someone does domestic violence, the first thing the woman will do and should do is take pictures of the bruises that they've inflicted upon you so that you have it. Because you can't bruise yourself. But there's no picture on the internet about me bruising somebody. No picture, video about me being rude to even women. Rude to women. No. I
Well,
protect them.
a lot of these online bullies and trolls, they just generate false stuff just to get at you.
Yeah, yeah. Just to, and
Yeah,
also for clout. For
for
clout too.
class, yeah. Because a fraction of the times when you go check their page, these folks just want your attention. That's
And
it.
I give it
But
to them.
yeah, no. I'm a firm believer right now. It's high time we start giving it to them because I feel
You give it to
over.
them so that, you know what, if you give it to them, that mob, you see what I do is I take the most rabid of all of them. I take the person that, you know, when you have a pack of dogs coming at you, you want to defend yourself. You have to go for the most dangerous one. Use all your energy and get that one. Once you get that one, the other dogs will advise themselves. Say, see, we don't
Stay
even
back.
have
Let's stay
as
back.
much
Let's stay back.
strength as that guy, and this guy floored this guy and everything. So they will now
Let's
back
stay
down.
back. Let's stay back. So,
You
Mr.
know?
Frank,
Mm.
my
Yeah.
next question is: how do you balance your personal life and your professional life?
Nice question. Very nice question. Let me let you into one secret. I hate fame.
Mm. But it
Yeah,
looks
now
like you're
because I
an extrovert. Why do you hate fame?
no. See, let me tell you. I hate fame, but it is a gift and a curse. So what are you gonna do? If I hide myself, I don't want to interact with people, they will depict it as arrogance. And it will not be good for my business. So I know that business wise, I have to learn new ways of opening up to people. If you are in the entertainment business and you are not an extrovert, you are in trouble. I like keeping to myself. I am my own best company. But you know what? I realize that in this world, you need to interact. You need to open up to people, and that's what I do. So balancing personal and career life is pretty easy for me because I said I'll be myself when people come to me. I'm one of the most jovial entertainment people in real life. When I see people, I'll be yapping there, say this, come on, they'll be like, hey, I didn't know this guy was like this. I don't have airs. I don't have airs like, oh, you know, what. If there are 3,000 people for me to take pictures with, I will not go until I get to number
No, I saw
3,000.
that in Las Vegas. Yeah, that's a true.
Yeah,
That's true. Facts. I saw that in
yeah,
Las Vegas.
yeah. That's it. So I'll just say, hey, do you want to take a picture? They'll tell me, can I take a picture? I said, don't just stand there. Come on, let's take a picture. That's it. So I learned how to roll with it. Some people get tired. I've seen many colleagues of mine saying, no, I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood. Well, I'm always in the mood. I have to be in the mood or I don't take it for granted. So that's how I balance it. And also, anywhere I go, people are famous. The only thing that irks me is all these people that beg for money. It's getting too much. Me, let me tell you, instead of me to meet people that, hey, bros, I will give the guy selling groundnuts in the hold up. I'll give him extra money because he's working. These praise singers that just shout, hey, baba, they want money. They don't even mean the greeting they are giving you. They just want some money. And, you know, that is the thing that irks me. I feel that if somebody is in the rain, in the sun, in the hot, blazing sun, selling their wares on traffic instead of begging or stealing, those are the people that deserve my tips. Not you that say, Baba. I don't like praise singing. I don't even take my brand as larger than life. I'm just a normal guy. If you see me when I'm doing work for my wife. I'm the one carrying my camera by myself, and I'll carry it. I'll be sweating. I'll be doing blah, 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 by myself. When I'm doing cinematography, when I carry camera, they say, "Why are you carrying camera? Give it to your boys." I said, "Do you know that Roger Deakins won an award for best cinematographer, Blade Runner, and 20 Blade Runner 2046, and he was carrying the camera himself? You think carrying camera is video coverage?" Somebody, I gave somebody on Twitter now. Guys just talking, this. I gave him. I'll go to Twitter this night to see if there are any victims tonight.
Mr.
So
Frank, you need to follow me on Twitter.
I haven't followed you on Twitter.
No, you didn't.
I
No,
followed you on Twitter
no,
now.
really?
What are you talking about?
No, it was
I
one.
posted,
You
I
didn't follow me on
posted our stuff on Twitter,
But
and I followed you.
you didn't follow me on Twitter.
Did you see the post
Yeah,
that
I
you
did.
made?
Yeah, I did. I did. Does that mean
And
you
I didn't
followed me?
follow you.
I don't know.
Let me tell you, I follow everybody on Twitter.
Oh,
If I didn't follow you, I'll follow you. I'll follow you tonight. I'll go and
okay.
check. Well, I thought I did when I did that post. No problem.
Mm, mm, mm. Oh, okay. So, Mr. Frank,
Mm.
you've talked a whole lot, and having perused through the fans on the comment section, I quite understand
Yeah.
you have a class where you tutor, you mentor, and
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes, I do.
Can you
I do.
throw more light on the class? I might be interested in the class, and I know a lot of people on this comment section want to be a part of the class.
Okay. That's why I did a class. I opened up a class. I had like 550 people, come. We opened a WhatsApp group. I did a WhatsApp group. They came and all that. Now I did like 3 free sessions, and for the 4th session, I said you're going to be paying monthly 20,000 per month. You pay monthly. Then I'll be doing Zoom meetings, giving you resources. Like I just gave my group a book to read, and after we read the book, we're going to analyze it, review, and take the gems that we discovered in the book and discuss among ourselves. We do practices. I'll tell them, okay, do an introductory video of yourself. These are the rules. Say the thing in a different way. Be humorous, be light-hearted, and be interesting. Package it into 1 minute or 1.5 minutes and send to me. I will analyze you, and I'll tell you the area that you are wanting. We were speaking on introductions, and people liked it. But the problem is, I migrated the paid people to a new group, the paid group. And I abandoned this other group. This other group, I said, you have to pay. They didn't pay. So Nigerians, they are used to getting things for free. But it's the people in diaspora that were paying. Like I have Pandora. Do you know Pandora
Yeah, I know
Essien? Pandy.
Realtor. Pandora is a very good friend of mine. She's a realtor in Dallas.
Yes, she's a realtor. Yes. Pandy paid 3 months in advance.
No, Pandy is a big girl now. You don't want to,
No,
you know.
not about big girl. It's not. No, don't get me wrong. It's not.
No, if I
It's
was in the group, I'll definitely pay mine. But Pandy's in another
no.
level.
Pandy is see Pandy. Pandy is interested. You see, it's not about being big girl. It's about interests. So Pandy sometimes doesn't have the time to attend some, but when she does, she attends. It is not about the ability to pay more than the passion to learn. Broadcasting, how to speak better. You don't have a button that I'll give to you and you push and all of a sudden you start speaking like Frank. No. Or start speaking like you. Or start speaking like a broadcaster. Broadcasting is an eternal learning process. All I need to do is to instill the discipline for you to be able to learn. And once you learn how to develop yourself on a daily basis, that's all. Then I can let you go. I'll say, do it every day and you'll
So,
be better.
Mr. Frank, quick one. Anyone that wants to join the class, how do they join the class?
Okay, so what I do is there's a QR code. It's still on my page somewhere. So you just scan the QR code. Then you go to the free group. From the free group, so when you are in the free group, you now send me a message and say, hey, I want to be part of the paid group. So you will now pay. Once I get the proof, I send you to the paid group. And
Nice one.
that's
Nice.